Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Browns Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where you can stop in and get caught up on some of the news that concerns our Cleveland Browns and also get a 10-minute take along the way. Please, if you haven't already, like the previous episodes we have posted for you, like this episode, and if you can, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you to everyone who has done that so far, and then don't forget, of course, the viewer comments. Love to hear from all of you. Coming up on today's show, something happened over the last week or so that all but told us the stadium in Brook Park is going to be built. And it's not the Haslams telling Cuyahoga County we're going to build it with or without you. Also today, someone on the Browns roster has been named the most underrated by a very respectable football source. And how about this? Dillon Gabriel flexing his social media game over the weekend. And it got me thinking about why the quarterback situation in Cleveland is such a touchy subject. And in the viewer comments, a Giants fan who has something to say about the Cleveland Browns, Deion Sanders, and Shedeur Sanders. So hang around for that. But first things first, let's talk about this new stadium. And I don't know if anybody was paying as much attention to this as I was, but there's two things. One, there's a sign, it's all but happening. And then I got a source who told me, yes, it is all but happening. But here, let me show you this. Here's a picture. This is what it'll look like from the inside. And you can see it's kind of got that Lucas Oil Field vibe where you got the windows you can see outside. But the telltale sign for me that says this is happening for sure, there's no doubt about it, is when we found out that they're, for the first time in 25 years, going to do a major improvement on Cleveland Hopkins Airport. And if you look at this picture, there's the new stadium in the foreground, but look what it is sitting right behind this entertainment complex that includes the stadium. Yes, that would be Cleveland Hopkins Airport. So they're going to expand. This is just some of the things they're doing, folks. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Expanding curbside pickup and drop off. Larger, deeper lobby, consolidated security checkpoint, more expansive baggage claim level, new international arrivals facility. So, like I said, first time in 25 years they're going to do something like this. Now, the Browns told Cuyahoga County, we're building this thing with or without you in Brook Park. So, either you're with us or you're not. But here's the thing. A source told me last week that this is all but a done deal, and you can expect it to be ready Game 1, 2029. So we will have to wait and see if all of that plays out. But to me, all signs are pointing towards new stadium in Brook Park. All signs also pointing towards the Browns defense being improved this year. Yes, we lost JOK, but the additions we made and the guys we have could mean for a good year. And one of the guys that Pro Football Focus really likes is Jordan Hicks. Yeah, how about Pro Football Focus voting Jordan Hicks the most underrated player on the Browns? He's a 10-year vet, guys. I mean, he's been around for a while. But he had his best year since 2018. Remember, he was kind of hanging behind JOK, and then when JOK got hurt, he took over that spot and earned a top 25 PFF grade in run defense and coverage. And they feel, even though he's 33, there's plenty left in the tank. The Browns, of course, signed Hicks as a free agent prior to last season. And in his first year with the team, made 12 starts, finished with 78 tackles, 4 for a loss, had 5 quarterback hits, and 2 sacks. And so this is good news for the Browns and for Jordan Hicks. So hopefully Pro Football Focus is right, and he keeps it going. Now, how about this? Gabe, did you see this? Dillon Gabriel posting over the weekend and showing his love for Cleveland. There it is. He says, Cleveland, this is love. Guy has some pictures from the rookie mini camp, also from draft day. And, folks, here's the thing. This is one way to get into our hearts, right? Is you do things like this. And, and the whole Cleveland thing, we know where that comes from. But, anybody who comes in here at quarterback, for the Cleveland Browns has to make an immediate connection with the city. It's just the way it is, and here's why. You can blame Bernie Kosar, because Bernie back in the day, I mean, every quarterback that comes in here will forever be compared to Bernie Kosar. Now, I will tell you that Joe Flacco and those 5 games and what he did a couple of years ago was as close to Bernie as we've been since Bernie. And the thing is, I mean, when I say that, it's like everybody got caught up in it. Everybody was like the old days. There's a bunch of songs on the radio. They're making songs about Flacco. That's how it was back in the day. There were Brown songs, like, you know, every 5 minutes a new song was playing on the radio about the Browns. So we had a little bit of that. We had a little taste of that with Flacco. That's why Flacco's so beloved here now, because, I mean, it's only 5 games. Similar to Bernie. Bernie never got us to a Super Bowl. Got us to the AFC Championship game. Lost. We lost every time he was there. Not flashy. Never really threw, he threw for like 3,000 yards in a season like once. But he was just so good at his craft. And then they had Mackenbiner and the whole thing. And he was like a maestro back there running the offense. And he a lot of times knew what the defense was going to do even before the defense knew what it was going to do. And so every single quarterback is compared to him. He threw for most of his 23,000 yards that he threw for came with us. And the words diminishing skills, it's like a swear word here in Cleveland, because that's what Bill Belichick said when he got rid of Bernie. And we were about to burn the city down when Belichick was here as coach, and he said Bernie had diminishing skills, so they let him go. So what's he do? He goes off to Dallas. He won a Super Bowl ring with them, and then he also finished his career in Miami, which of course he played college ball at the U. But that's the thing, folks. Dylan Gabriel doing this, posting this, and his and that connection to Cleveland, smart move, because we lean into that stuff. But again, every single quarterback that comes in here will be compared to Bernie Kosar. Forever. That's just the way it is until somebody wins a Super Bowl. When somebody wins a Super Bowl, whether it's Flacco, Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, if they win a Super Bowl for us, there will be statues built. No questions. No questions. There will be statues built. Okay, let's get now to the viewer comments, which I'm going to start building statues for you guys, because these comments just never, ever disappoint. They're always hitting the mark. First one, how about this? It's Swenny A 3304. He says Shedeur was on spot with the statement about his father. Remember when he said that a lot of the hate that he gets is coming from people who don't like his dad, and he's just his son, and so that's what we're talking about here. He says he was spot on with the statement about his father. He's been visiting schools since he was in high school, yet people were saying it was a PR stunt. It's truly astonishing how miserable people are. Go Browns, and I'm a Giants fan. How about that? That's nice to hear, and he's right. I do think that it's like collateral damage that Shedeur ends up enduring, and but Deion, I don't know how people can hate Deion. And I'm going to tell you right now, my greatest Deion story and I've been talking about this, over the last few weeks, but this is just this classic Deion, just bailing you out when you needed it. My dad and I used to bet, back in the day all the time. And I bet the Niners, there was the Saints game. The Niners are like an 8.5 point favorite. And they were at home and they're struggling. They're struggling with the Saints. I mean, I'm like, they're a dome team and they're in San Francisco. How are they even in this game? Well, anyway, Steve Young throws a touchdown pass to Jerry Rice with 3 minutes left in the game, and it puts the Saints up 17-13. So essentially, with the line, I'm down 21-17. So Saints have the ball. They're driving. I'm like, this is over. There's no way this is because either the Saints are going to score, win, and cover, or the Niners are going to stop them, get the ball back, and lay down with it, and the game is going to be over, and they'll win by 4. So I think it was Steve Everett was the quarterback for the Saints, and he's driving. They're driving. And then he throws his pass in prime time, steps in front of it. And with just under a minute to go prime time, takes it back the other 74 yards, a pick six, goes back the other. He's doing the dance. He's got that, into the end zone. I'm doing the dance. Like what my dad, we called it his office. It was essentially a closet that we put a desk in so he could do his work orders and things. He was a maintenance man for an apartment complex. And we would sit in there and he had a little TV. We'd watch games and, we'd sit there and see what was going on, what was happening. But oh my God, I come flying out of the room. I'm dancing like Dia. My mom doesn't know what the hell's going on. But I'll tell you what, that was when my dad and I shared that moment, when we thought we were dead in the water and Dion saved us. And so it was just, and I loved Dion even before that. And so it just, I'll never, ever forget that because of, not just Dion, but that moment I shared with my dad. And so now Dion and Shador, and I just, I don't know, it just all reminds me of that. Okay, Anthony Green, 79-78. Browns should make Flacco a quarterback player coach, training our rookie quarterbacks to solidify the team. Browns, I believe, will be 7-11, but the losses will be closer by like 7 points or less. I can lean into that, Anthony Green. Like I told you, I think they're good for 6 wins at least. I'm betting the over. I'm going over 5.5. I think here's the one thing with the Browns and the schedule every year. The games you look at the schedule and you go, they're never going to win that game. Those are the games they're going to win. So they do this to us every year. So there will be some surprise wins on that schedule. So I do think that's a pretty fair assessment if you ask me. 7-11. Greatness, me 70 says, let's be clear, this is football. Football is about leading men, period. You cannot fake that. It is what it is. Yes, there are many who want to pretend this doesn't matter, but it does. Shador has presence with his play that accommodates it. Players don't care what fans, media, etc. think. They see football through the eyes of the player. Name the players who think Shador can't play, is a bad teammate, or is not a leader. Yeah, I mean, love to find that out. It's a good point. Great take. That's why I used it. He's not wrong. So, leader first is Shador. And again, once they get out on the field here in the next week or so, it'll all start playing out. And then we'll end with Cobra V27. Cobra like Cobra Kai with a K. The Browns are in a good position. They need to see what they have in Sanders and Gabriel ASAP. They have 2 first-round picks in the next draft. If Sanders and Gabriel end up working out, the Browns will be in a great position for next year's draft. And don't forget, too, who knows? They could end up trading. It could be Pickett or Flacco. They get on the trading block and get something back for them. And then if the insurance claim kicks in and they can get the money back for the Watson debacle too. I mean, they could be even better than, what we think they're going to be today. And that's the point, folks. The point is this. Going into this year, we're already we're just, it's like you're trying to, we've been out in the mud for the last, all day, playing all day. And now we're in the shower and the mud's starting to come off. All just the dirt and everything that we've had on us for the last 3-4 years with the quarterback position. It's much more stable now, and we have draft picks, and we're coming out of this, and I just think that the sky is the limit for our Cleveland Browns. Okay, that'll do it. Please, if you can, like, subscribe, and always comment in the viewer comment section. That'll do it. Go Browns. We'll see you next time.